Yo, what's going on, body bags? Bourgie86 back up in this. This is the second time you saw my face this week. Outsider 365, he couldn't make it to do his review in time because he had engagements that he had prior work, the usual stuff that had him tied up. So I told him that I would do a fill-in for him, which is all right because maybe one day I'll need a fill-in, but I'm staying strong right now. So, what I got for you guys today, I'm in a relaxed state right now, as you can see. I'm just sitting down. Is a film from 1981, and it's from director Joe D'Amato, and it's written and starring George Eastman, and it goes by the title of Horrible. This is also known as Absurd in the UK, where it's on the banned 39 list of the video nasties. Now, the main plot of this one, we're introduced to George Eastman's character, Nikos. He's being chased by somebody. He ends up getting impaled and ends up in the hospital. And what happens is he heals. He actually, it starts to heal on its own, and it becomes like a scar and just ends up being healed altogether. What we find out is that Nikos was part of these special experiments that gave him these healing factor powers, and it also did other things to him, as we can see, because he has this murderous rage, and he goes on a killing spree. And what happens is he ends up escaping the hospital. He kills a nurse, and he takes his journey. He takes a few people out on the way back to actually where he was impaled, to the house with the fence. And he sees, I guess that's where he found out, connected with, and he ends up terrorizing the people that live in the house. There's a small little boy and a girl who's actually bedridden. I kind of remember, did they mention why she was bedridden? I think she just had like a surgery or something. It goes off the top of my head because I think they did mention it, but it just flew by. And yeah, that's all the main plot of the film. It's just them trying to survive the night, and the cops and the priest trying to find out where Nikos went before it's too late and stop him. That's pretty much the main plot of the film. Now, my thoughts on it. Now, with a story like this, with the guy being healing factor, it's not really that original. And we've seen this before in like Halloween, or like millions of Friday the 13th films that came. I don't know if this actually came out before Friday the 13th Part 2. We've seen a lot of films, especially like Halloween and stuff, that had like the same scenario where like the killer got shot 9 times and got up and walked away like nothing happened. That's pretty much what's going on in this film. And even though it doesn't look original, it was kind of like a new thing back then also, too, because we didn't have like these unstoppable killers and stuff, which was awesome. And what I gotta say though, I love George Eastman in this film. He's really badass as Nikos. The way he performs with his fierce look in his eyes. And he's believable too, because he doesn't really have any dialogue in the film. He doesn't actually speak in the film at all. But he just has this look of him that I like, and he does a good job as like this fierce killer type. And the rest of the acting, I believe it's dubbed for the most part. They do alright jobs. The kids are kind of shaky with the dubbing. They do fine in the film, but the dubbing's kind of off-putting. Because I noticed in a lot of like Italian films, they always misdubbed kids for the most part. It's kind of weird. And the one thing I love about this, if you can't hear in the background, I actually have the menu playing, is that's the main theme when Nikos is about to do something really bad. Because this is, I love the soundtrack to this. It's really has these high tone like guitar and drums. If you can hear them, the drums going like dun 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 and stuff, and like it has some guitar in it, and it has some subtle moments too. There's actually some beautiful music playing like through the film, which is kind of weird, but I say that it's beautiful music playing, but I really love the score of this film. It's really an unusual score for an unusual film. Now let's get to the what do you want to hear about the kills? Are the kills awesome? For the most part, yes. There's a few awesome kills that I wasn't even expecting the first time I watched this film. One in particular is the drill scene that's probably famous, and there's a few like there's one involving a pickaxe. There's a few good kills in this film. There's actually another thing I forgot to mention with the acting in the film. There's actually a cameo by Michel Sauvé, who would later on become a director of his own, which is kind of ironic because George Eastman actually wrote the screenplay for Stage Fright, and it was produced by Joe D'Amato, who's the director of this film. So that was an awesome little thing that I didn't know that when I was going into this for the first time. And Sauvé, you probably would miss him if you didn't see the film before and you didn't know what Michel Sauvé looked like. But it's really cool to see him in this. I always like during like seeing Italian cinema, how many cameos of these films will I see Michel Sauvé in? Because he's in a bunch of like films. Yeah, I just enjoy this one. It's nothing really too like new, but it's just a cool little fun watch. If I had to rate horrible, I'm gonna give it a solid 7.5. I had hell of fun with it. I enjoyed it for what it was. And a note of this Maya Communications DVD, I noticed like some of the quality of the film goes in and out, but I think it's because of the prints that they use for the film. You notice like it gets really like grainy in some shots. It's because the quality jumps, but it's understandable because they were just trying to get like the fullest version of the film for the person buying it, which I can understand. Some prints are better than others, but other than that, it's not a terrible watch or transfer. It just has a few like scenes where it's a little less quality than others, but I highly recommend this DVD. Good release by Maya. 7.5 out of 10 for horrible. Check it out. Alright guys, that's all I got for this fill-in review. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back on Wednesday, so enjoying the review so far this week, so stay tuned for the climax at the end on Sunday of this week of Body Bags with Moods. And I'll see you Wednesday. Peace out.